Hi, I'm Steve Wilcox from the Division of Marine Fisheries, and this is Sergeant Matt McClintock from the Environmental Police. We're here today to talk to you about the Whelk gauges and proper use. So just to start, all these rules apply to both species, channeled and knobbed whelk. And just want to remind everyone that sublegals need to be released on site and all product has to be measured immediately. So regulations this year require that there's a gauge in possession on the boat. This gauge here we have in this example has this flat plate that's part of it. That part's not required. It can still look like this gauge does. For the 2021 and 2022 season, the gauge size will be 3 1/8 inches across, a minimum of 6-inch rail length, and a rail height of 1 1/2 inches. Proper gauging techniques are as follows. With the Whelk, this is the operculum and this is the opercular opening. With the opercular opening facing down and as flat as possible on the gauge, if it can go through in any orientation, no matter which way the siphonal canal is pointing, it would be sublegal. If it can't fit through this gauge, then it would be legal, such as this one. This one, you put the opercular opening down and as flat as possible on the gauge, and it can slide through. That means that one is sublegal. This one slides through, sublegal. This one doesn't slide through, that means it's legal. And the hope with this is that it's quicker on the boat. If it's rough out, if your traps are full, you can gauge them much quicker. You don't have to try to line things up like we have in the past. And this is trying to combat the fact that these animals are asymmetric and it's difficult to have a standard measure. So our hopes are with this new gauge and the new gauge use is that it will be both quicker to use and more consistent amongst users. And Sergeant McClintock can speak to this.
Thanks, Steve. What we were finding last year when we were conducting our boardings at sea was that oftentimes the fishermen would turn the Whelk a little bit to my left, which would possibly make them believe that this would be a legal size Whelk.
So now by having it just, if the opercular opening's facing down, as flat as possible, it's just simply, if it can pass through, it's sublegal. If it can't, it's legal. Okay. Just a reminder for recreational whelk fishermen, there is a 15 whelk possession limit, and that's for knobbed and channeled whelk combined. But because we now have a pretty complex looking gauge that's not readily available, we've done away with a minimum legal size for recreational fishermen. So it's strictly limited to the 15 whelk possession limit. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video and concerns about the proper way to measure whelk. If you have any questions, please contact the Division of Marine Fisheries or Environmental Police. Again, thank you for your time.